The right-hander goes to work out on the mound, John Glasscock. And we get to know this right-hander, JJ, out of Virginia.
Glasscock, a 6'1", 170-pounder. Not any of these big 6'4", 6'7" pitchers we've seen so much of. A more slender, projectable young man, a West Virginia commit.
Scottsville. South Charlotte Panthers. This is a really good historic program. Scott Clemens, his coach. Fluvanna Country High School, where Coach Gray is his coach as well. I like the glove. I like the color. Dad is John, mom is Dawn. And he's one of those guys, he doesn't compete in all the sports now, D, but through his time in his youth, it's been soccer, football, basketball, wrestling, and baseball.
The 17U National Championships a couple weeks ago through 3 2/3 no-hit innings with 7 strikeouts, worked 89-91 with a 80-mile-an-hour breaking ball.
Andrew Lamb is his catcher. He works defensively. Been out there for a couple of innings now. All right, a chance for Robert Rodriguez to step in and swing, the FIU commit. And he does swing. Down off the end of the bat, it's a high fly into center field. Ryan Mooney gliding around out there makes the play for the out. Mooney's in center, A.J. Garcia's in left, and Keelan Parnell is in right. Hear a little thunder outside of the Thunderdome.
That and the crack of bats have been the 2 most common things, and I think Thunder might, over the last 2 days, might have the lead.
Glasscock with a breaking ball that splits the plate. Side to side break on that pitch. Another opportunity for George. Another one. That one out on the outside black of the plate. David, you were calling him one of the great players this summer in travel ball. And the 0-2. Big swing a mile up toward that roof, toward the catwalks. But sticking with it the entire time and putting it away is Eric Guevara, the shortstop.
Lombard obviously has the tools and has the name recognition, no doubt, and when you put that together with performance on a big stage, there are a few bigger stages, tournament stages, in the 17U National Championships. It's going to cement you as a top level prospect.
Not a bad pitch to start off. Kevin McGonagall, his second opportunity. The Auburn commit from Monsignor Bonner in Pennsylvania. As he watches that one jump out of the zone. 2-0 the count. Was an MLB All-American playing in that outstanding game at Dodger Stadium. What an opportunity for Kevin. Part of the prospect development pipeline as well, taking a run at that USA roster spot. On the corner.
Well, Kevin McGonagall's batting average is in perfect game play the last 3 years. 2020, 540. 2021, 497 or 479, and so far this year, 485. That's the batting average. That's not an on-base percentage or a slugging percentage. That's the batting average. Average OPS over 1,400. There's power there. He hit 5 home runs last year, 37 games. There's speed. He stole 20 bases last year. He's a 6'5" runner. This is an offensive machine.
And he'll put that speed to work. Slow roller out toward short. Not in time.
The moment the shortstop stayed back, that's a base hit.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Eric Guevara waited back on that one. And sometimes when you let it play you, it'll play you with that kind of speed.
And a left-handed hitter getting out of the box. It's a changeup, so he's out front and getting out of the box. But to make that play, Guevara has got to get it coming through the ball.
Arjun Namala. That one got him, I hope, off his shoulder blades. Hey, they remind him, you can hit. I don't think it got him, I hope, nowhere near the helmet.
Yeah, he doesn't, he looks like he's fine. The umpires are. I'd say, hey, take a step out. That's what we try to do with anybody who gets really squared up, whether it's in a thigh, an ankle, or whatever. And he looks like he ducked that fine and it just skipped probably right across his name tag on the back of the jersey. And they're just going to give him a couple minutes. He may not need them, but send up the next hitter, and he'll get his shot next.
And here's Daniel Cuvée. Arm underneath that one. Glasscock sails the breaking ball high. Second opportunity to watch the Miami commit. That's twice he's seen that disappear up and in, and that got him in the right elbow.
And that pitch is moving so much. I think that's part of it. I think these hitters are aggressive right now. That one stung. I think Namala dodged a bullet, so to speak, on his, but that caught Cuvée pretty hard.
So lots of blue out on the base pads, and Arjun's going to hit again. Enjoyed the times we've been able to get to know he and his family. Watched his younger brother play at the Junior National Showcase. Swing and a miss as he starts his at bat over. There's a friendship there with the likes of Elijah Green. A man he's worked out with. 0-2. But you've seen him a lot more than me, David. What do you like about this player?
I think he has as high an offensive ceiling as any player in this class. There's just such easy plus bat speed there. The performance record is great. He's a high-level athlete. I don't know if he stays at short, but he certainly has the athleticism to stay in the middle of the field. But when you look at the offensive ceiling he has, you know, that is really exciting. And one of the most exciting things, you look at that age category, 16 years, 9 months right now. So he could very easily be a 2024, and we know so many clubs in the draft use that as part of their model, and that's going to really come in next year when he's 17 years old and will be 17 all summer come draft time next year. That will come into play.
All right, we'll take a look at JJ, John Glasscock, and see his work.
Well, his work was centered around that slider. You know, he lost control of his fastball a couple times, and he gets that huge fastball movement. But his out pitch is the slider. He was pretty consistent with it. And just, you know, when he got that fastball inside and couldn't control the movement, that's what got him in trouble, but he worked out of it.
Smile in there as those locks flow out from underneath his hat.
He looks to be a pretty live wire personality too. Looking at his expressions out on the mound, his body language. He's a live wire kid.
It's always fun to see the eyes for these players, and this is a stadium that gets panned at times as an older stadium, maybe needs some love, maybe a new opportunity for Tampa. But here's what these young athletes know. This is where one of the best teams in the game plays. And they know that. They're aware of that. So you walk in here, even if it's an older building, there's a ton of respect for the players that they get to play on the same field with the team that battles the Yankees and Red Sox every year.
Yeah, in fact, when we came in here the first day, and that's the important part right there. When we came in here the first day, I was walking in with some of the PG staff, and it was like, hey, it is so fun every.
So the work for Riley Whitmer is done. His 2 winnings in the book. Thoughts?
Big, strong young man. I like that he came out in this environment, the showcase environment, as opposed to pitching at home for the Florida Burn, and went out and did it through his 94s and 95s. It's a power arm. That could be how he's used in the future at the University of Florida, is as a reliever with that big, strong body. He's going to have to tighten up the slider and get better feel for the changeup, but the makings of good ones are there. But it's a power young arm with some good body control and athleticism.
So a couple of pitchers gather together to talk things over. Hartman followed by Morningstar, followed by Whitner on that side. Questad, Selvig, and now Glasscock in his 2nd inning of work. Young man for the, as we said, South Charlotte Panthers. Also been a part of PDP this summer, went to PG's Junior National, was an underclass All-American as well. When you ask Mr. Glasscock for his scouting report, he'll tell you fastball in the low 90s, a lot of run, usually gets a lot of weak contact. Then I have 2 breaking balls, a slider and a curve that I throw for strikes. And I use them as out pitches. Also throw my change as a split change, both to right-handers and left-handers.
We pretty much just saw the heavy tailing fastball, and it's good awareness on Glasscock's part that he gets that. It'll be interesting to see if he tries to, or is able to, get that fastball to the outside, the glove side part of the plate, because virtually every one of his fastballs was arm side, and with that run, that often brought the ball into the hitter, including one that hit Daniel Cuvée in the elbow. Good to see that Cuvée has no lasting damage from that. He's leading off the inning.
I asked him about his favorite meal and who makes that meal for the Miami commit. And his dad, Patrick, makes the best paella in the world, he says. He said that easily is my favorite meal.
That would be worth traveling to Miami. Paella is one of the great dishes.
Thought you'd appreciate that, Big D. Gets a chase up and out of the zone.
And even though that was up, it was still thrown the glove side, and that's what you want to see Glasscock do, is try to work that glove side. He can do it easily with his slider, but getting the fastball there is going to get him more outs.
Ariel Antigua now for his 2nd opportunity. Feet very close together, stands very tall in the back of the box, upright. A little load with that leg coming up. 0-1 the count.
Oh, he's a hang fire. He has such quick hands, and not many hitters can get away with that hang drop fire. But he has that hand quickness to do it, and surprising power. He put a few easily into the left field seats last night, and you can see, looking at him, not the biggest player on the field by any means, listed at 5'8".
1-2 the count. Here's what his self-scouting report says. I'm 5'7", but I have the power of a man 6'5". Short frame, but can hold it down at shortstop. Above average speed, high IQ on the field. Known his family for years now. Good breaking ball. Gets a swing and a miss.
Yeah, those are some of Glasscock's best sliders, the highest spin rate ones certainly, and well located, through the one over the plate, through the one outside for the swing and miss pitch. And I think Glasscock slowed down his mechanics there, and that's a good thing for a pitcher to do if you have the awareness and the body control. You have a player with that hovering load, and to slow down your mechanics, you're almost making him more anxious. And you saw Antigua was very anxious there.
1-0 the count to Antonio Jimenez.
There's the changeup. Didn't really have split action. It was more looked like a circle change type action at 84, but got a lot of movement on it.
The count 2-0 very quickly. Antonio, talented switch hitter. Grandfather playing in the minor leagues with the Phillies organization in the late 60s. Takes that breaking ball. And his dad, quite a baseball player as well in New York, very strong middle infielder. He talks a lot about his dad. Cesar gives him a lot of credit for his athleticism. His mom is Stephanie. Little roller out to the left side. Out of the way, everybody's safe. Initially unable to make the play over there is Atella, and once it got by him, that was all it needed. Nothing Guevara could do at that point.
Surprising swings, 3-0, and Jimenez didn't see that ball well. Probably at 3-0, a pitch that he could have just laid off and waited for the next one, but he reaches base on the little infield single.
Florida State commit Andrew Duncan. It's an opportunity to be an All-American this year. We'll see as that one sails way up and toward the helmet. He ducks out of the way. The number 12 overall ranked outfielder currently, and those rankings will evolve after this showcase, but the number 12 overall outfielder in North America. Runner on the move, fired down. That's a stolen base. Jimenez flying around the base paths. Andrew has flashed those metrics that will have scouts like David stop and pause. A 6'2", 60, 95 from the outfield.
And not only 95 from the outfield, but maybe some of the best actions. He wasn't selling out for the 95. They were great fundamentals and footwork. You know, that speed's going to give him immense range as he learns to get jumps. We already saw him get a nice jump coming in on a ball that a lot of the outfielders here don't see as well. Said took a first-class batting practice last night. Just such a well-rounded player, Duncan is.
Good 2-1 pitch, swings and misses, 2-2. Andrew's dad is Joseph, and his mom is Tamar.
I would think he's going to throw another slider right here.
He did, and it had the result he wanted. The right-hander, John Glasscock, out of Scottsville, Virginia, South Charlotte Panthers. Scott Clemens coaches that program. Here's another look.
Well, that slider got better and better the more Glasscock threw it, much like Cole Selvig before, but this is a really good pitch, and he's throwing 90, 92, and we've talked about the run, but especially in that second inning, it was slider, 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 and the hitters didn't recognize it, even as slider count. Pretty high quality hitters like our Antigua, like Duncan. I also like Glasscock. He's a high energy kid. He's got a lot of facial mannerisms on the mound. He's looking into the dugouts. We got Danny Wexelman down there talking to him right now about how he's feeling on the mound. Maybe we'll hear more about that later.
I would imagine that's the case. Outstanding play-by-play announcer.